Is anybody in here gay? Get her! No, just kidding. I'm totally joking. This is New York. Are you gay for real? Yeah. Okay, so you know the gay marriage is illegal, right? Why do you think that that's illegal?
People suck. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that.
Do you even care about marriage?
Yeah, I want to get married. Eventually. It's really
to a girl or a guy?
Girl.
Just checking. Why do you think it's illegal?
People are scared of change.
Do you think so?
Morality.
Who said morality? Do you think so? I don't. Whose morality? Who said big business? She knows what's going on. Huh? Hmm? Yeah?
Even gays can get married. They're going to wake up to the reality of problems of marriage just like everybody else.
And that's all good and well. You see, here's the thing. No matter what your morality is, it's still a secular society. So even if gay marriage is against my own personal beliefs, I can't necessarily believe a government that would say we don't want to do that for moral purposes. Not while you fucking bombing Iraq like that, or sending motherfuckers to Afghanistan like that. I mean, you can't be hitting me with all this dubious ass morality. They say morality because that's what their constituents need to hear. And because they think that's what their constituents want to hear. But honestly, Bill Clinton said 90% of the shit that people talk about has nothing to do with what the actual job of the president is about. You think the president be sitting around, what time is it, 10 o'clock? Oh, we got that gay meeting. Hey, guys, what are we going to do about that? I mean, they don't give a fuck about it. No, who actually is going to give a fuck? Big business. And I have a whole belief system out that you just don't want to know about. I'll tell you part of it. All right, it's a tiered, listen, marriage laws are fucked up in America. I don't think that the government should have that much say in actually how people devise a marriage, because a marriage, right, devoid of any kind of religious belief or emotion like love is a business contract, period and simple. And tons of people in Washington or legislative bodies, even guys like Elliot Spitzer that have wives or fuck prostitutes, live in loveless marriages. And they have these shits arranged because they're in such a high social stratosphere that they have to keep up a certain appearance. So why are they imprisoned by their own marriage? This is a form of economic slavery. And if you look at the way this shit happens, corporations were made legal in the United States by the 14th Amendment, right? Or 15th Amendment, which freed the slaves. And then under those rights, people said, we want the same rights as those motherfuckers as collective individuals, right? And if you're a collective individual and two collective individuals want to do business with one another, one's masculine, one is feminine, so they define a marriage institution between man and woman. But what if corporations is gay? I'm just saying. What if Aunt Jemima doesn't want to be with Uncle Ben? What if Aunt Jemima wants to do business with Sarah Lee? Well, wait a minute. What if Uncle Ben wants to do business with Mr. Clean? That's all I'm saying. Guys, wait a minute. That's a little gay. I'm sorry, I thought that was funny. What if Aunt Jemima? I don't think that's what Mr. Clean was. Uncle Ben. Maybe I should have picked different companies. I put myself in a bad position. I'm just joking around. You're like, we don't want to hear this shit. It's just a conspiracy theory. I believe in aliens too, bitch. How about that? They're coming. Gay aliens, they're here. All that shit, fake. World Trade Center, fake. You want to know who blew that shit up for real? I ain't gonna say that. You know, it's my own personal thing. I don't even want to say that shit. Yeah. You know who I think blew up the World Trade Center? Ashton Kutcher. America, you have been punked. Why did he blow up the World Trade Center? I don't want to sound like a cynic. Shit was crazy. I don't know the truth, but I know who does. Strippers. They know everything. Does anyone have a cigarette?
Yeah. Rubber light?
Sure. Good on you, mate. I wish I had it. Your accents are so nice. Huh? And I do listen to BBC News. We all listen to the BBC. You're all listening to the BBC. That's what they say all the time. GMT. Oh, every time you say what time it is, it goes GMT. What does that mean? Whose mountain? Greenwich. Oh. It's the center. Oh, okay. Mean time. Greenwich Mean Time. Is that where the phrase mean time comes from?
Yeah, baby.
Wow, you can tell that your country conquered a lot of shit, man. It's Greenwich Mean Time. I learn shit every day. It's Greenwich Mean Time. Have you ever heard that before? Yeah, bro, you ever heard that before?
Yeah, I've heard it.
Oh, you're from Ireland, though.
Like, bang on down the middle of London, very much.
Greenwich Mean Time? What's so mean about it? It's a time. Oh, okay.
Like 0 degrees.
Okay. You ever seen a guy's mind stretch?
I'm my five for it. Like in the 24 hours, like 0, like, you know.
Oh, I don't do that 24-hour clock shit. I hate that shit. It's 1500 o'clock. 1500.
You got moved here, right? Like to make life easy. Got the blocks.
No, I don't like that shit. That's when it's good to have them strippers around. Strippers are like the Google of the streets. Never seen somebody answer so many questions without a crystal ball. It's true. It's amazing. Skill sets. Girls be here. I'm an accountant. No, I'm a dog trainer. Every goddamn thing. It's amazing. All right, it was something hilarious though. All this shit is depressing. Ashton Kutcher didn't blow up those buildings, by the way. I don't want you to think. I'm not gonna put that on him. Huh?
If he did, who was he pumping?
American people. American person is one of the most lied to people in the world. That's our whole game with America. Because freedom is not a privilege, my friend. It is a fucking burden. Because a free person has to make choices all the time. And you can't make a good choice unless you have the information. And in America, it's not like China. You know in China when they had the earthquakes, you know what the headline was in the newspaper? What earthquake? They don't tell those people shit. In America, they'll tell you every goddamn thing. And then they don't prioritize the information. You gotta figure all that shit out for yourself. That's right. The war will be breaking out and you'll be like, did Michael Jackson fuck them kids?
And now we get to the core of the crisis. What is a woman? What is that in this day and time? Is there even such thing as a woman or a man or anything? Seems to be a question nowadays. Now listen, women get mad at me Gay people get mad at me, lesbians get mad at me, but I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is true, these transgenders, these niggas want me dead. I've gone too far, I've said too much. And I gotta tell you, I'm very worried about it. I'm not even joking. Every time I come out on stage, I be scared. I be looking around the crowd, searching for knuckles and Adam's apples to see where the threats might be coming from. A nigga came up to me on the street the other day. He said, "Careful, Dave, they after you." I said, "What? One they or many theys?" How old is 15 really? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I'm not saying that a person is as smart as they're going to be at 15. That's not what I'm saying, man. But I am saying 15 to me is old enough to decide whether or not you want to be pissed on. I mean, that's me. If you can't make a decision like that by the time you're 15, then just give up, motherfucker, because life is way harder than that. I make tougher decisions all the time. If you don't want to get pissed on, just get the fuck out of the way. It's not even a decision. If I start peeing on the front row, they're not going to have to calculate and think, oh, how do I feel about this? Am I okay with it? They just move. You can do that at 15. I could have. I've been 15. When I was 15, I was doing stand-up in nightclubs. I smoked reefer from time to time. Friends were selling crack. I was trying to finger fuck people. I knew what was happening around me to some degree. Getting pissed on was the least of my worries at 15. Trust me. But it keeps coming up. There's a lot of confusion around that age. Anytime 15 comes up, people freak out. Like when that girl, Elizabeth Smart, got kidnapped. Right? Remember in Utah last year, 15-year-old girl Elizabeth Smart was kidnapped, and then they finally found her, and the whole country was relieved. And I was the only one saying, damn, she wasn't that smart after all. Not because she got kidnapped. That could happen to anybody. I'm not knocking her for that. I'm just saying, if you kidnapped me when I was 15, you gotta take me further than 8 miles away from my house, man. God damn. You can't hold me prisoner around shit I recognize. I'll break away. I'll break away. Fuck off me, nigga. That's my bus stop. I know where I'm at. I'm going home. She was missing for 6 months, 8 miles away from my house. It was a great night. I remember the late, great Paul Mooney was there. A bunch of fly-ass comedy niggas was there. And we all went backstage and was just drinking and talking shit and laughing, and Daphne stole the room. She had everyone cracking up, spinning the yarn, telling us all these crazy stories about shit she be into. We all laughing real hard, and as she's telling us and everyone's laughing, I'm looking around, I'm like, oh my God, she is funny. I pulled her aside and I said, you're hilarious. I didn't know that when you were on stage. I said, you're doing some things wrong, but I can help you. I said, anytime I'm in San Francisco, why don't you open the show for me, and I'll just try to give you some pointers, see if you can't work this thing out. And she said, are you serious? I was like, yeah. And she grabbed me real tight, hugged me, squeezed me, and I pushed her all violently because I'm transphobic. I said, boundaries, bitch. When Sticks and Stones came out, a lot of people in the trans community were furious with me, and apparently they dragged me on Twitter. I don't give a fuck, because Twitter's not a real place. And the hardest thing for a person to do is go against their tribe if they disagree with their tribe. But Daphne did that for me. She wrote a tweet that was very beautiful, and what she said was, it was almost exactly what she said. She said, punching down on someone requires you to think less of them. And I know him, and he doesn't. He doesn't punch up, he doesn't punch down, he punches lines, and he's a master at his craft. That's what she said. Beautiful tweet, beautiful friend. It took a lot of heart to defend me like that. And when she did that, the trans community dragged that bitch all over Twitter. For days, they was going in on her, and she was holding her own because she's funny. But 6 days after that wonderful night I described to you, my friend Daphne killed herself. Oh, yeah. It's a true story. My heart was broken. Yeah, it wasn't the jokes. I don't know if it was them dragging her. I don't know what's going on in her life, but I bet dragging her didn't help. I was very angry at them. I was very angry at her. I felt like Daphne lied to me. She always says she identified as a woman, and then one day she goes up to the roof of a building and jumps off and kills herself. Clearly, only a man would do some gangster shit like that. Hear me out. As hard as it is to hear a joke like that, I'm telling you right now, Daphne would have loved that joke. That's why she was my friend. I was reading her obituary, and I found out she was survived by a daughter. And the moment I found that out, and this is true, Anderson Cooper from CNN texted me. And all he said was very nice. He said, "I'm sorry to hear about your friend." And I texted him right back, "New phone, who this?" He said, "It's Anderson Cooper." I said, "Oh," I said, "Anderson." I go, "Look, I need to find her family." And he texted me right back with all the phone numbers and all this information. I say this to say, if you ever want to know about anything gay, call Anderson Cooper from CNN. This nigga is faster than Google. And what I did is I got in touch with the family and I started a trust fund for her daughter, because I know that's all she ever really cared about. And I don't know what the trans community did for her, but I don't care, because I feel like she wasn't their tribe. She was mine. She was a comedian in her soul. Her daughter is very young, but I hope to be alive when she turns 21, because I'm going to give her this money myself. And by then, I'll be ready to have the conversation that I'm not ready to have today. But I'll tell that little girl, "Young lady, I knew your father." And he was a wonderful woman.
Life can get tough, chills in my bones, working too much, weight on my soul, closing my eyes, let it all go, the least I can try.
Sometimes, sometimes racism works out in black people's favor. Now, it doesn't happen often. It happens very rarely, but when it happens, it is fucking sweet. I'm serious. This one time racism saved my life, man. I was on a plane. I was coming from overseas, and I don't know how this guy got a machine gun on the plane, but he stood up, man. He said, "Everybody, get on the fucking ground! Nobody look at my face!" I started freaking out. Because he was Chinese, I was like, why is he talking like that? He was screaming and crying. I was the only brother on the plane. Well, I thought I was the only brother. I looked over, there was one other black dude. He was from Nigeria. I looked over at him, he was looking right in my face, man. He didn't say two words to me, he just looked at me, he was like... He didn't need to talk, I knew just what he was talking about. I looked right back at him, I was like... Some white dudes on the front of the plane seen us, they were like, "Oh my God. I think those black guys are gonna try to save us."
We were just communicating that we understood the situation. We were both seeing the same thing. What we understood was simple. Terrorists don't take black hostages. That's the truth. I have yet to see one of us on the news reading the hostage letters. They is treating us good. We all chilling and shit. I'd like to give a shout out to Ray Ray and Big Steve and Central Newport. You're not going to see it. Terrorists are smart. They know what they're doing there, you know. They terrorists. They know that black people is bad bargaining chips. They called the White House. Hello? We have got 5 black... Hello? Tough time for the blacks. These are not good times for the blacks. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, right? Police are killing us again. It's a very unfortunate set of circumstances because we were doing very well. You know, America has a racial hot seat. I think we can all agree that that's the truth. And we can also agree that that hot seat is traditionally occupied by African Americans in general, African American men in particular. Although I can see that in recent years, that seat has been occupied by Mexicans, and I dare say Arabs. And we, the black Americans, would like to thank you both for your sacrifice and your struggle. We needed a break. We needed a goddamn break. We all go through something, but at least I can leave my backpack someplace. If you Arab and forget your backpack, you got about 20 minutes before they send that robot to blow your shit up. Fuhad. Now ISIS is #1 on the terrorist charts. And ISIS is fucking scary. Because if ISIS catches you, they're going to cut your head off. That's what they do. I've seen them do it on YouTube. It was fucking awful. He looked right in the camera and say, Obama, I am back. I saw that shit. I said, oh my God. Don't like. How is this guy cutting people's heads off on YouTube? I can't even post a dick pic, and this motherfucker is decapitating people. I'm gonna have to change my settings. You know, everyone has it hard, but I think harder than black people and harder than Arabs and harder than Mexicans, you know who has it the worst? Fat black people. It's hard for white people to understand, but that's what I'm saying is very true. Fat black people have a really rough road, because all manner of things kill white people, but you know what kills more black people than anything, more than police and terrorism? Salt, nigga, regular. Here, white people are getting Ebola cures and shit, and meanwhile, I'm dying from fucking the flavoring. Look, honestly, I'll stop talking about it. Let me say this, though. Let me just say this. Can we all just say that we've seen it coming? Were you surprised? It's like when that guy threw that banana at me. Do you think I was surprised? Hell no. I've been in show business 30 years. I was expecting this banana. I knew one of these nights, it's like somebody gonna throw a banana at me one of these nights, niggas. Because that's how it starts, with the name calling. Like that Paula Deen. Remember Paula Deen got fired from the Food Network? If you know anything about show business, it is really hard to get fired from the fucking Food Network. And they dropped that bitch like a hot potato. All because she called somebody an N-word 30 years before she had a show. I don't know who she said it to, but whoever it was just looking at her like, I'm gonna get you for this bitch. That shit came back 30 years later like a Bill Cosby rape and sunk her battleship. every black person was mad, but we weren't like that mad. I was just like, well, how's this bitch gonna call me a nigga when she taught me how to fry chicken? That's not fair. I think Donald Sterling shit was more serious. Remember Donald Sterling? He used to own the Clippers, and then he got caught on a secretly recorded tape saying some very unsavory things about African Americans. And there's a lesson in that for all of us. The lesson is, if you are old and white and racist in this great country, whatever you do, don't tell your black girlfriend about that shit, because that's who made the tape. She recorded all that shit, and the tape was terrible. He was like, stop bringing these black guys to my games. First, we're all confused, like, well, how the fuck are you gonna have a game without us? But it turned out that the black guy he was speaking of was none other than Magic Johnson, the billionaire. Unbelievable. Never even mentioned the fact that he had AIDS, which is... This guy must be really racist if AIDS is the footnote. Well, you gotta be careful, baby. He got the old Ebola. You can say what you want about that girl, but I'm gonna tell you right now, she is a goddamned hero. Because you might have thought these things were happening before, but now you can see it all in front of you without a shadow of a doubt. That shit actually went down. She sucked that old guy's dick. She really took one for the team on that one. That's really gross. This dick is like 80 years old. It's like tasting history. Like 5 wars on it, Civil Rights Movement, the Great Depression. This guy's been fucking from 40 years before Bill Cosby's first rape. This is a very old man. It's a very old penis. But all that shit is still, it's just name calling. Like, name calling does not break the modern black man. That's not gonna do the trick. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, if I went to Kentucky Fried Chicken, Ku Klux Klan hood on top of their head, what do you think I'm gonna do in this day and age? Run out Kentucky Fried Chicken? Not if I'm hungry. I'll go straight to the front. Hey, man, let me get a 2-piece. I don't give a fuck what he says. You want a biscuit with that, nigger? I thought it came with a biscuit. What's all this attitude? I want a 2-piece. Chop, chop. You know what it is. But I'm not gonna be mad. Why would I be mad? He's the one that's gotta work at Kentucky Fried Chicken, not me. Or how about this? What if I lived in Austin and I had a white girlfriend? It's possible in Austin. As a matter of fact, some people say it's necessary, but that's not the point. And me and my white girlfriend at home one night and we're just doing what lovers do. Maybe she's butt naked and she's down on one knee giving me a hand job. I love a good hand job. And she's really jerking me off. You know, getting her obliques nice and tight. I got a huge dick, so she's like, And I'm like, wow, this really feels wonderful. I think I'm gonna come. Nigger. I know, that's a tough one. But what do you think I'm gonna do? Hey! That's no time for integrity, ladies and gentlemen. I'm busting that nut in her face. I'll sort through the ethics later. But I'm what they call a man of his word. If I say I'm coming, oh, I'm coming. I don't give a fuck what happens. God forbid somebody could shoot me. If I say I'm coming, it's still like, oh. Doesn't mean I like getting shot. Yeah, tough time for the blacks. I'm not gonna say nothing about the police. I'll leave that for Chris Rock. I know it's fucked up, but I tell you the truth. You know, everything's funny. Everything's funny till it happens to you. 3 months, a mere 3 months after that terrible attack that Chris Rock endured, I was on stage at the Hollywood Bowl, and a lunatic jumped out of the crowd and attacked me. Now, I gotta tell you, if it happens to you, you don't even know what the fuck is happening. It was like slow motion. I just looked over. I don't know this nigga. And I was looking, I said, oh my God, I'm being attacked. And this motherfucker was ragged. He jumped at me. He was like, ah! I'm old, but I'm fast. I caught this motherfucker's head with my hand and pulled his hoodie over his eyes. I can still feel his head in my hand. It was spongy. He had been growing dreadlocks. Not the beautiful dreads that breastfarians grow. These were accidental LA homeless dreads. This shit had leaves and sticks and bottle caps and shit in it. Some kind of grease. I was like, ugh, like this. And then I fell down. And he knocked me all the way on the ground. And I was like, man, this is a bad situation. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna die or what's gonna happen. But in that moment of vulnerability, you know what occurred to me that had never occurred to me before in my life? In that moment, it occurred to me that bodyguards should not wear dress shoes to work. Travis! This nigga Travis came out slipping and sliding on some kind of beautiful loafer and fell flat on his back. I said, oh my God. Now both of us are down. I gotta handle this shit myself. So I popped right back, boom. And then the kid that knocked me down, he popped out, boom, and we looked at each other and realized at the same time, I was bigger than him. And that motherfucker took off running. And I started to chase him, and I said, fuck him. And I picked the microphone up. So I'm gonna finish this show now. That's right. For 3 months before that, I'd been making fun of Chris Rock. And people would ask me all the time. They'd say, Dave, what would you do if you were Chris Rock and Will Smith slapped you in the face? And to this day, the answer is the same. Well, I don't know what I would have done. I've never been in a situation that extreme. But I do know now what Will Smith would not have done. And that is enjoy the rest of his evening. Man, listen. We gave that kid a good while. We was whooping his ass. Not we, I mean, I was on stage trying to think of a joke to tell, but they was beating this nigga up right behind me. Everybody could see it. Everybody could see it. And I'm sitting up there trying to think of what to say. And I'm tongue-tied. Me, of all people, can't think of anything to say. Look at my karma. Just that moment. Of all the people in the world, Chris Rock walks from backstage, walks up to me in front of 20,000 people, grabs the mic out of my hands and looks at the crowd and goes, was that Will Smith? Man, motherfuckers fell out of their chairs laughing. I was standing there looking stupid. I was fucking furious because I'm thinking in my mind, nigga, this is my attack. You got attacked 3 months ago. Now you have jokes. So I snatched the mic back from Chris and tried to get one off, but my shit did not go good at all. I didn't know what to say. I was just like, it was a trans man. And the crowd was like, boo. It's LA, we like trans people, boo. I know, I felt so bad. I felt so bad. But I know why I did it. You'd have to be there to understand, but man, when that guy tackled me, it was like it's like a movie or something. You gotta picture this. Picture a famous person you like. Every famous person you could imagine was at that show. It was like the biggest night that Hollywood had ever seen. And when that guy tackled me, he cleared the bleachers. I had to watch the tape afterwards to know this happened, but But as soon as he tackled me, Jamie Foxx was the first motherfucker that jumped out of the crowd. He was wearing a white cowboy hat, like he knew this shit was gonna happen to him. Never seen this nigga in a cowboy hat before. And Jamie started chasing that motherfucker around like any given Sunday. And that kid was fast as shit, was juking and shaking, and he broke Jamie's ankles, and he just kept running. And then Jon Stewart from The Daily Show ran from backstage and jumped at this motherfucker like Super Jew. He was like, ah! And the kid seen Jon coming, so he jumped back, and Jon went flying that way. And this kid was fast, and then he turned around. He sees the emergency exit. He starts running for the emergency exit. Just before he got to the door, motherfucking Puff Daddy from Bad Boy Records jumped in front of the door. That nigga was like, Boy, Puffy got that motherfucker. And then every celebrity just ran out, because every celebrity saw themselves in me, and they just started beating the fuck out of that kid. And I know Chris was backstage looking like, nobody helped me. Everybody hates Chris. Look, it was way more intense than what you guys might have read. I don't know what you read, but the kid, while we was beating on him, reached in his waistband, pulled out a .22 caliber pistol. That shit was mayhem. Everybody started screaming, oh my God, he's got a gun, he's got a gun. And then I got scared. I was in the back, but I was scared, because I knew that everybody that was with me was armed. Yes, if they had shot and killed this kid on stage at the Hollywood Bowl, like I pay you to do, Travis, but Travis G'd up. Travis wrestled the gun out of the kid's hand, and then he took it like this and tried to chamber the round, and he couldn't. So he pulled the trigger, and it wasn't a gun. A knife blade popped out of the front. I guess this kid was gonna stab me. Some scary shit. So the next night, even though I didn't have a show, I said, I gotta get right back on stage. And I went and did a show. And someone in the audience screamed out, Dave, what happened with the attack? And I didn't know there was journalists in the room. All I said was that this nigga had a knife that identified as a gun. I got 6 more weeks of bad press for that joke. I didn't even do nothing to this nigga. That's not right. That was not right. And then the New York Post went to the jail and interviewed my attacker like he was some kind of hero. And I read that interview. It turns out the entire attack was my fault. Yes, I triggered him. I didn't mean to. I had done jokes about the homeless. It turns out this young man was homeless. And I mean, there's no way I could have known this. But I will say, for a homeless guy, this nigga had incredible seats. Oh, and they said I triggered him because I had done LBGTQ jokes, and it turns out this fella was a bee. That was the headline in the article. It said, Dave Chappelle's alleged attacker is bisexual. I said, alleged attacker? This motherfucker definitely attacked me. I'll show you the tape. He's allegedly bisexual. I'm gonna need to see him suck somebody's dick before I believe the rest of this article. I read that shit in the paper. I was horrified. I was like, oh, bisexual? I could have been. No, you know what though? It's not funny because after all that madness ensued, I went to the hotel room. I was by myself and I opened the door and my wife was in there alone. She was sobbing, like sobbing. I said, oh my God, what's wrong with you, bitch? Did you get attacked too? And she's crying. She said, oh my God, David. She said, if you had died tonight, me and the kids would have nothing. Then I knew it was serious. So I sat down on the bed next to her. And I reached in my pocket, I pulled some keys out that she had never seen before. She said, oh, what are those keys? And I gently placed them in her hands. I said, sweetheart, those are the keys to my safe deposit box. God forbid anything ever happen to me. But if it does, don't even worry about it. You and the kids have everything you need in that box. I've already taken care of it. And she was looking at them keys, and I could see her mind realize what we were actually talking about. And then she just started crying harder. And to be honest with you, that made me cry a little bit too. And we hugged each other real tight. Do you know this bitch looked in the box while I'm alive and well? Who does that? Oh my God. And then she was mad at me. She said, God damn it, David, I opened that box. I said, you did? She said, yes, I did. And there was nothing in there. I said, nothing? Oh. She said, nothing except your stupid joke book. I said, whoosh. I said, well, sweetie, look. If you tell those jokes exactly how they're written, you and the kids should be fine. They're really good jokes. She's like, good jokes? What is this shit? Come join me in my watery grave. No, you gotta roll your throat. Join me in my watery grave. Digital Underground. Part of my affirmative action plan, I'm trying to give white DJs a chance. People like Fuse have played in hip-hop's minor leagues for years so that Eminem could be in the majors. I'm just fucking with you, Fuse. This is not the minor leagues. Fuse brought sound effects too. We have tons of them. We do this all the time. Fuse, give me a sound effect. Yes, that's I don't know what the fuck that is. What else you got, Fuse? Give him a minute. This motherfucker's surfing the web during the show. This is money well spent. He's probably uploading this show right now to YouTube so he can see what's bullshit? Oh no, there's a heckler in the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, please be calm. So anyway, this is like some rock star shit, and I see security is, I don't know what security is doing. There's a lot of hubbub around. Don't fuck with the man in the yellow shirt. What's up, security? One of them was wearing shorts. That's very intimidating. Should throw some karate slippers on. That'll show him. Do you know who you're fucking with? I do shit like that. I go to Chinatown and wear karate slippers just to intimidate motherfuckers. I don't do that. That would be funny though if I was sneaking up on people in Chinatown. Well, you got them on too, nigga. Of course, we all remember that's the theme to Enter the Dragon. drive through Chinatown and blast that on your stereo, they'll think you're racist. Hey man, I'm just a movie buff. I kid the Chinese because I was recently in China, not Chinatown. I was actually in China searching for investments. Dave Chappelle is trying to diversify his career because I've learned how flimsy shit can be. And I did make an investment. I bought a house just outside of Shanghai, ladies and gentlemen, $450,000 American dollars. It is a 18-room mansion. Thank you. It's made entirely out of Legos. Everyone just relax. It's Chinese building material. Live in a house of poisonous toys. As a matter of fact, I got the building parts from a Chinese toy store. It's communist. It's called Toys Are All of Us. All right, I made that part up. But when I was in China, I had a chance to see the Great Wall, and I know that there are a lot of Chinese American audience members, and I want to say congratulations to you. It's a fucking phenomenal wall. It's probably the greatest wall I have ever seen. It's amazing. I didn't know that Chinese people in ancient China had Mexicans. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, I did just say that. But don't misunderstand me. Because I would never take that accomplishment away from the Chinese. I know the Chinese built the Great Wall of China to keep Mexicans out of China, which is a very advanced idea that America didn't think to do till 2003. I wonder how that wall is coming. Okay, I say things like this, but you guys understand I'm joking. Which is a good thing. And one time that I was doing a show, this is some real Bay Area shit. I was doing a show, and there was a couple in the audience. The wife was obviously Asian. And the husband, his lineage was more mysterious. He could have been from Mexico, or maybe he was from Bangladesh. I didn't know what this guy was from. Now, I'm a tactful person sometimes, but in this particular instance, I wasn't tactful. I actually asked him. I said, so hey, where are you guys from anyway? And the wife was offended. Maybe rightfully so. She looks at me and she goes, well, I am from Berkeley. If you are asking my ethnicity, I am Chinese. And the husband says, he's like, I'm Mexican, bro. Okay, and then I'm just joking around. Now, it's not the best joke, but all I could think of in a second, I said, oh, wow. I said, man, you guys are going to give birth to the hardest working baby that's ever lived. Like, obviously, I'm joking. That's obviously a joke, right? Everybody knows that babies don't work in America. Folks, I'm just trying these jokes out. I'm writing the jokes for the Republican Party. I'm just joking around again. I'm not even political.
Oh my God.
So I don't know if you guys heard about it. I had a little nasty spill in a show in Miami a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it was terrible. Fucking terrible. And I was heckled by all Native Americans. And the people were camera phoning me, so I had like a Kramer moment. It was really fucked up. Yeah, if such thing was possible for a black comedian, that actually happened to me. I had a Kramer moment. And I have mixed feelings about what happened to Kramer. I don't want to bring that up again, because, you know, I'm a black dude, so obviously I was fucking furious when Kramer said what he said. But I'm also a comedian. The comedian in me was just like, phew, this nigga's having a tough set. Hang in there, Kramer. Don't let him break you. You know, I can relate to that. Everyone has a bad show. I had one a couple weeks ago. It's just part of my business. We all have bad shows. But rarely do you have a show that's so bad that you have to meet with Jesse Jackson within a week afterwards. That's a really bad show. It's the worst show since Siegfried and Roy got mauled by their own tiger. And in a way, isn't that why we all go to the tiger show? You don't go thinking that the guy's going to be safe with tigers. You go thinking in the back of your mind, this motherfucker might get bit. And I'd like to see that for $35. Very rarely do you see a hilarious tiger maul. Of course, with one career, you might see one person get mauled by a tiger and be able to make a joke about that, which it isn't funny. My lifetime, there's been two. There was one at the zoo in San Francisco. Which is why San Francisco is such a weird city. This is the only city that a person will get mauled by a tiger at the zoo, which is fucking horrific. And the entire city blames the victim. He was teasing that tiger. So the fuck what? The tiger is not supposed to jump out of this hole under any circumstances. They shouldn't, has to be one of the worst mismanagement stories I've ever heard at any zoo. You shouldn't expect to be killed by an animal, no matter what kind of funny faces or popcorn and shit they were throwing at him. The tiger fucking killed two people. I watched the whole thing in the news. They were like, well, the San Francisco police were called, which is another crazy thing. I just can't imagine calling the police. Hello, tiger, help! And they said the police said that they fired a warning shot. Just kill that motherfucker. He's bad. This tiger's bad. This tiger's not rehearsing. The news said that the tiger chased one of his victims 300 yards. God damn. 300 yards. That's 3 football fields. You know how fast you have to run to outrun a tiger for 300 yards? That is fucking amazing. He probably woke up in the hospital with an NFL recruiter standing over his bed. You did good, son. Damn good. I know this is a bad time, but I'm with the Cincinnati Bengals. And you have the right stuff. That's what he wants to hear. America has an African president. It's fucking... I never thought that would happen to me. And they captured Osama bin Laden. So we can all just, it's over. Everything's back to normal.
He's gone.
So I'll just act like none of that shit ever happened. Not only did they capture Osama bin Laden, they shot him dead and threw that motherfucker in the bottom of the sea like Megatron. Like they left room for a sequel. Maybe Osama will come back. I am pessimist prime, motherfucker. I don't believe any of this shit. That could be coming back any minute. Nobody, I need some proof. What happened to Osama bin Laden? Where's the body? We threw it in the bottom of the ocean. Done with it. What a shitty hiding place he had. He had an apartment in Kabul. All this time we were looking in caves. Turns out he had a 3-bedroom. We busted in on that motherfucker. He was cooking eggs. America breathes. He was looking out the window. He wasn't even thinking about the World Trade Center. He was just thinking about how wild life can be and moving on with his life. Oh, yes.
Motherfucking Facebook page was still open. What a wild life it's been. Shot that motherfucker. Freeze America! Oh no! Wow! You see it like a movie. Him falling back in slow motion. Hot sauce falls out of his hands. Take him to the bottom of the ocean. It's a fucking weird world. It's a weird world we live in. And the president's black. It was weird because I was watching the Cosby Show, and it was the one where Rudy got a dog, and then I realized I was watching CNN and it was Barack and not Rudy at all. I rarely come out, but tonight I came out because one time I did this show, this very show, and they gave me a birthday cake on the stage. I'm not really into birthdays, but man, it was one of the nicest things, and I really appreciated it, and I didn't forget it, and I get to work with dudes like Chris Tucker and Kat that I never get to see. And I rarely get to see them. It's my own fault. I live in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what you just said, but just sounded serious about that shit. And whoever's sitting near him, watch that motherfucker. That sounded like the Malcolm X, get your hands out of my pocket type shit. They even put the spotlight on him. Alaikum salam to the Muslims, Ramadan Mubarak to the Muslims. I didn't know there were so many Muslims here. Everyone relax. I mean, look, we all know that America, unfortunately, has a racial hot seat. And right now, that hot seat happens to be occupied by, unfortunately, Arabs and I dare say Mexicans. And we, the black people, would like to thank you for your sacrifice and your struggle. And as we take this long-deserved break, but we do feel for you. Because we as black people know all about racial profiling, but, you know, at least we can leave our backpack someplace. If you're Arab and leave your backpack somewhere, they will send a robot to blow your shit up. That's fucking amazing. It's a whole new level. And Latinos are, oh my God, the stuff they're doing, I'm so sorry to hear about it, everybody. It's not even easy for white people anymore. That's when you know that this motherfucker's imploding. Like, you know, now that I live in the country, it's like I actually know poor white people, like farmers and shit. Just like they come around, you know, for a black dude from the city, whenever he sees a poor white person, it scares him. Like, have you ever seen like a real poor white guy? They just look like a zombie movie. He's all dusty and shit. Coming up, attractive. We're all in it together. Told you I'm running out of shit to talk about. I'm working up for the finale. Now here comes my finale. Here's a question I had to, okay, do you guys get like drink service at this table, or can you like go to the bathroom? You can't even go to the bathroom, can you? This table's tough, isn't it? Just sitting on stage. It's fucking weird. Just having them sitting there, it's like fucking weird. I know you're somebody's friends though, right? Like, you know somebody backstage, no? My wife don't even have a good seat. What the fuck is wrong with this place? My wife is somewhere out there. These motherfuckers are sitting right up on the stage. I'm totally joking. I don't mind you being there. It does make me a little nervous, but I'm assuming that someone with the yellow shirt patted you down. Lost some karate slippers on him.
You know the worst part about bombing in Miami is my kids were there. And you know, I got mad. I don't know what I said, but you know, it must have been crazy because my kids was young and my wife was mad as shit. I got in the car, I was so furious, I was acting like I was asleep, so I didn't have to talk to anybody. And I heard my son say to my wife in the back seat, he said, "Mom, what is pussy?" So I know I must have said something crazy, but I knew my wife was mad, I just kept like I was sleeping. She said, "Son, pussy is what keeps this family together." Drove off into the night. I love you, San Jose. I thank you. It's good to see you again. Good night.